Granddad Business with Aaron Caliber. That's my dad. Hello! Underpants? That is hilarious. Shut your mouth, dude. Rate and review this podcast or my daddy will go into a deep depression. Going down business with Aaron Caliber. Yeah.
Boom. Welcome to Grown Dad Business. This is Aaron Caliber, and I'm here with Jason Clark.
Yep.
In Jason's dad cave.
Yeah, The Room. It's The Room.
Oh, it's The Room?
It's just...
That was a movie that was really depressing.
It was, but we would...
It was all called Room.
Yeah, JC sort of came out with that, my son. He was like, Dad, this is The Room.
Oh, okay, The Room.
Yeah.
A little bit different than mine, but lots of good movie posters. I agree with every single one of them. Yeah, you heard what I said, Jason. I agree with them.
Yeah, you should.
Definitely Back to the Future, The Goonies, Pulp Fiction, Ghostbusters, and all three Star Wars films. You know what I mean when I say all three Star Wars films.
Yeah.
Wait, what's it? And Rocky. Now, I think Rocky's good. I just wouldn't have the poster. It's good, though.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite soundtracks.
Yeah.
Bill Conti. Great soundtrack.
But you don't think the poster should make the wall?
Oh, I mean, I don't like Rocky enough. I think it's a great film. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
The story of him making Rocky is sensational.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Sleeping in his car and stuff. Riding Rocky. Oh, it's amazing.
Same with Pulp Fiction. Love the idea with Tarantino and how his whole thing working in the movie shop, VCRs, the tapes.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was also writing garbage scripts.
Yeah.
And pitching garbage scripts, too. And that's how he sold...
Reservoir Dogs?
No. He wrote... oh, gosh. He wrote that Chase movie or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
This is a terrible beginning of a podcast. We should start over. This is not a movie podcast.
No.
That's okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Throw it away.
No. While I'm looking it up, though.
Yeah.
This episode is going to be the year in review 2016. And because this is our last episode of the year, it's New Year's Eve this weekend. So have fun. Be safe. But we're going to talk about all kinds of things.
Yeah.
The year in review, there's a lot of things that going on. True Romance. That's what's going on. He wrote True Romance. My Best Friend's Birthday. Natural Born Killers. So he was like selling those stories. True Romance got picked up though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, it's a year in review. So there's a lot of things going on. This year was my first full year of podcasts, by the way. This is my first full year of Grown Dad Business podcasts. And it was a pretty good year. But this year I also kind of changed it up with Jason.
Yeah.
Now I'm just talking to one dad instead of different dads. But this year, I started off my year, I don't know if you guys remember this, with my friend Jim Krenn. In January, he did an episode, a great episode. He's a Pittsburgh radio legend. You could check him out. But then, a lot of great comedians. Eddie Brill, the longtime booker of the David Letterman, a two-parter with him, two-parter with my friend Harlan Williams. You can check out John Heffron. There's a really deep episode with comedian Emma Arnold about abuse. That was rough.
That was one of my favorite. I mean, I remember I was staining my deck like dad shit, and I texted you and said,
Dude, it was.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
Deep,
I stopped and sat down and just sat there and listened.
Yeah,
that was a good episode.
British comedian Gina Yashere, really awesome talk.
Yeah, it was.
About growing up in racist England and homophobic England. Fascinating. Because she's black and a lesbian, if that makes any sense.
Jackpot.
What's that?
Jackpot. She's got it.
Yeah.
all.
Oh, it's everything.
Yeah.
Guy Torrey. I did an episode with Guy Torrey. Josh Sneed. We really just talked about Star Wars. We're going to have to do a Star Wars episode, just Star Wars Dad episode with Josh Sneed sometime the next year. Two-parter with Brett Ernst, which was a lot of fun. And then such episodes as Corned Beef Dads.
Yeah.
where me and Jason just ate corned beef.
Donuts, the donut ride. The donut
yeah.
ride from Columbus.
The donut ride? That sounds like a really bad adult film. The donut ride. Starring Duke Longfellow. That's my porno name.
Mine's Creamy Eclair.
Why is it Creamy Eclair? Here's what I go by porn name. Okay. Oh, by the way, parents, put the earbuds in.
What is this? I don't know what hole we're going down.
Who cares? It's the
right
year in
now.
review. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but we're going to still keep it short. No, your porn name, I always went with the name of your first pet and the street you grew up on.
Yeah.
Duke.
Yeah.
Duke Longfellow.
You was it?
Duke Ellington, I know. Duke Longfellow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, dude.
Mine was Harley Westchester.
Yes! dude.
That's
Between
you know I'd have like a thick chest hair. That's Harley Westchester. And I would be in every Western spoof.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Photo shoot, me and Jason Clark as Duke Longfellow and Harley Westchester.
From the 70s. Polyester, gold chains. I'm going to have a pimped out fro. It's going to be, it's going to be tight. Yeah.
Duke Longfellow
We got
and Harley Westchester in
City Heat.
No, what was the movie you said? The Donut?
The donut. What was it? The Donut Ride.
Yeah, the Donut
Ride.
Duke Longfellow and Harley. What was it?
Harley Westchester.
Harley Westchester in the Donut Ride. Oh my God.
We need a tagline for it. We need that tagline.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna write that. We're gonna put this. You might have just launched our first video sketch that we do together and release.
Yeah. Stuff yourself with a dozen. Boom. Inches. Dot. Inches.
Coming in July.
Oh my God, Jason. Both of our wives are excited.
Oh my goodness.
No, they're not.
Yeah, no, they're both like, okay, this is horrible.
Well,
you all need to do better than this.
Do better.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the year in review. So a lot of great episodes to check out.
Yeah.
And Jason and I have been going at this since about May with some guests. And like I said, this is what we're going to keep doing because I found it, I made it work for a while interviewing comedian friends and celebrities, but the well ran dry, my friend.
Yes.
It really did. Because I started headlining more and I'm like, and I don't live in LA or New York and, I'm gone on the weekends, so it's hard to, I just made it completely a dad podcast. And if something arises where I could talk to somebody I'm working with, then so be it. But
yeah, I get
for
bumped.
now,
it's okay.
It's
in
just
the contract.
Me and Jason Clark, Holland's your boy from the Dad Cave. So yeah, we'll cover a couple things. We'll cover a couple year in review things.
Yeah, it's a big. I mean, it was just a different year all around.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess most of the things that happened this year that were so big with like the election and celebrity deaths and stuff, it made me think like, let's talk about the year. Let's let's recap that. The dadisms. What do the dads think? That's really what we want to get you on the pulse.
Yeah, the pulse of the dads.
Yeah, we want to get you on the dad pulse. Is that should be the podcast name? The Dad Pulse.
The Dad Pulse.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
The Dad Pulse. Because people walking around like, I wonder what the dads think about this.
What's the dad's feelings on this?
Mom, what do you think the dads think?
I don't think anyone gives a shit what the dads think.
What do the dads think about Kim Kardashian? We don't give a shit. We'd hit it. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Oh, hey.
Wait.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying. We don't care. But no, before I morph into calendar things, it was a good year comedy-wise.
Yeah.
Great year for both of us comedy-wise. Jason and I started the stand-up Get Down together. Yeah. The comedy game show. It morphed from a former lesser-known game show.
Yeah.
No,
we took something that, we came together. That sort of started the whole thing for us. It was just, met one night and was sitting in the crowd, and it was just like, hey, I know you, you know me, you want to do this? And it's just
so funny.
That's
so
how
funny
it
how
went.
you started off as scorekeeper.
That's how it was. I was just sitting there one night in a theater, and you came over and like, hey, you've seen the show before. Can you do this? And then we started talking more about, hey, what could the show be? And then we just did one last weekend where we introduced an actual DJ. We had a DJ on staff with us now.
My dreams, Jason helped my dreams come true.
Yeah.
For years, I always wanted the one thing that I wanted. It was like the top of my list to run a show that had a live DJ with turntables. I mean, I've been thinking about that even when for some of you know, I used to work at kids camps, teenagers camps and stuff, and used to run entertainment for all these camps. And one of the things I could never find because it's expensive is a turntable DJ. Now, granted, when in 2005. I don't think a bunch of middle school or high schoolers would have cared about a DJ on a turntable, but I did.
Yeah.
And that's something I always wanted, and it was so hard to get. And then when I started doing, actual making a living doing entertainment, and this show, Stand Up Get Down, formerly known as Stand Up Get Down.
Right.
It's always been in the back of my head.
Right, because the whole theme of the show is it's
you don't care. You're gonna pour water over your floor.
I just dumped water all over the floor. It's all good.
At least it's water, or is it Dadka?
Yeah,
that's Dad vodka. FYI, Dadka.
But yeah, I mean, the whole basis of the show is just it blends a lot of the different things that we both love mutually. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between me and Aaron.
Improv, hip hop,
music, stand up. I mean, all these different things. I mean, there's so many times where you're like, when I put a song on a playlist, you're like, oh shit, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I mean, that's my. I want to bump that.
I love it.
I mean, we're two like middle-aged dads that just want to get. I mean,
it is crazy.
And we brought on, a DJ that we know through the Arcade Comedy Theater.
DJ
John Hancock.
DJ Jayhawk Hancock.
Yeah.
I named him nine different things.
Yeah, and he is also a dad.
DJ Badcock.
He's also a dad that just happens to have a turn, and it's just something he does does for fun.
I love it.
And we used him for a party at the theater, and I'm watching him at this party. I'm like, son of a bitch, this is it. Will you do this for $10 and a can of PBR?
And when you said, and I was out of town for the Christmas party at Arcade Comedy Theater, and where we have Stand Up Get Down every month. I remember you saying, dude, John Hancock is spinning on Wheels of Steel here. I was like, what?
Yep.
Like, where was this hidden gem at?
Yeah.
For the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So we did that, and now Jason is pretty much part of Grown Dad Business. He's on the podcast. You do a lot of stuff at Arcade Comedy Theater.
Yeah.
Including counting candy bars.
Yeah.
Not an exaggeration.
No, everything. No, I mean, it's an operation. I mean, it's a business.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, something that, has morphed over the years of just being a fan there and going and seeing shows.
Yeah.
And then just looking and saying, hey, listen, I can offer something to you to help run this business. And it's been a great year. I mean, to be a part of that organization and for both of us and to see it, again, look up.
The huge news.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go obviously if you're out of town listening to this, what is Arcade Comedy Theater? Go to arcadecomedytheater.com, look it up. If
you listen to it, people know enough. I mean,
it's a small black box theater.
It's just Pittsburgh. I always say it's Pittsburgh's like UCB.
Mm-hmm.
Improv, sketch, stand-up classes and shows.
Yeah,
huge, amazing community of performers.
Just unbelievable.
And we're moving down the street.
Yeah,
to have 2 stages.
2 stages, 3 floors.
Yeah,
we'll have 140 in the main room, and then the secondary room upstairs will be the smaller room. It will be about the same size as the room that we have now. So
about 70.
We could top out 80, pushing 90.
But it's exciting just to say, like, it's an exciting thing because I think we're gonna have bigger and better acts come through, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, for me, this was a good year. I think I did the most commercials I've ever done this year. Yeah. I started working on Norwegian cruises. I've headlined more clubs in 2016 than any other year. So it's good, and it's better and better. 2017, I'm headlining Norwegian cruises and headlining most of my dates that I'm booking already for 2017. And it
was a good year.
Even though I'm still waiting for a check for one of those commercials, son of a bitch. Oh man, like 3 months, bro.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's not. That's no bueno.
Yeah, we're not ready to.
SAG-AFTRA don't play like that, dude.
We're not ready to put it out there.
You know, yeah, you get penalized. You know that? They get penalized
for not paying.
Oh, they got to pay me more, bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the union gets me interest. So, okay.
Okay, I'll wait. I'm
do
good.
You.
You do you, boo.
Do you, boo.
Do you, boo. I'll sit here and just wait and just go, all right.
That's so funny.
All right. Oh, the mailman's here? Tell him to go somewhere else today.
No, I'm not home. So, yeah, with that, lots of shows coming up. But really, this is New Year's Eve weekend.
Yeah.
There's not much going on for people. I mean, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, I'm going to be at the Pittsburgh Improv the 29th through the 31st of December with Josh Wolf. Very funny Josh Wolf. And then I'm gone. Yeah. Then I'm gone. So, sorry. I'm going to be all over the country. I'll be in South Carolina at a resort at the end of January. But no, February I'm getting to places. First week of February, I'll be at Morty's in Indianapolis for the weekend. That's February 2nd through the 4th. And then I'm starting to get around a little bit. But, who cares? That's like a month from now.
Right.
We'll have many episodes before then. Other than that, last week, we all joined forces with my other podcast with Sean Collier. You Can't Handle the Truth. HandleTheTruthPodcast.com. Sean Collier is our friend who's a actual movie critic and comedian. And so should I not talk on every episode like it's the first episode someone's ever heard? Maybe a little bit.
Maybe. I think it just. I don't know.
But we combined that with my sister Missy, our good friend Missy, and Jason and Sean at the Epicast Studios, and we did a Rogue One Star Wars episode. First half spoiler free. Second half, mad spoilers.
Yeah, it was a good time. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed that because I'm not critical when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
If I'm entertained, then I'm like, it's fine. So I wasn't like, and I've listened to that podcast before I knew you guys.
It's crazy.
And I'd be down here listening to the podcast, listening to that podcast. So to be on it was kind of fun, and to talk about, obviously one of my favorite movie franchises of all time, and to be with, three of my good friends. Crazy. I mean, it was a cool thing to be a part of that.
It's crazy that you knew me on a podcast before we were friends.
Yes.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Because I've known Sean. Well, I knew Sean.
Sure.
Loosely, because the first time I ever did stand up, Sean was the host of the show.
Oh, you have mutual friends too.
We do.
Comedian Gab Banesso.
Yeah. And so we knew each other,
Sure, yeah.
Relatively through that. Yeah. So, so I remember just listening to that podcast. I remember when you guys flipped Epicast, and that was like because you went to flip Epicast. It was around Christmas time. When Epicast launched. I would tell you, I would be surprised if I'm wrong on that, because I remember I thought I was down here listening to that podcast when that announcement came out from Sean and you that you were going with this new group of people, this Epicast network.
Yeah.
Because you ran it independently.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, at first.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was independent at first.
Yeah. So on that, before we dig into 2016, quick shout out for Epicast Network. If you like this podcast here, or if you like Handle the Truth podcast, Epicast Network does a couple other podcasts. Professor Buzzkill, Drinking Partners, a lot of great podcasts. If you want to do a podcast, talk to Epicast. Go to epicastnetwork.com/services. They not only produce podcasts and engineer them, they engineer studio audio. Their studio is so dope. You may have seen us sitting in there recording. We recorded last week the Rogue One episode. But they also do live audio engineering. They produce live shows. Dom, who cuts this episode, has done the audio for WDVE Loaded Show. He's done them for lots of my shows. He is now our tech engineer for the stand-up Get Down at Arcade Comedy Theater. These guys are great, and that's why we have them do all of our things.
Yeah, they're pros. I mean, they're
so good.
They take it out of your hands, and you can trust in them too.
And they also do photography. They do video. They have a green screen studio at their place. So yeah, epicastnetwork.com/services. Check out everything they do. Tell them that Grown Dad Business sent you, or Handle the Truth, whatever Aaron sent you, whatever, you get it. So check them out. So 2016.
Yeah.
We kind of went over on little personal things, but you already brought up. We just bring this up right away. Is 2016 the son of a bitch of the year?
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean,
the year is the son of a bitch of the year.
You know, I commented on something and I just put out there and it was just like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
2016, and you were like, mark it. Like, because
Yeah.
and I think, you know, it's interesting. You see a lot of people talking about, you know, 2016, you piece of shit, and can't wait for 2017, and then people being critical of that. And,
Yeah.
you know, everyone, you had your year. And, you know, what, if you felt that it was a rocky year for you, then yeah, it's a son of a bitch. And I think that when you sit and take a look at just the people that we've lost, idols, celebrities, people that we grew up. I think this is the first time.
Before we even dig into that, because I think that we could.
Oh yeah.
I mean, geez, we could. Yeah, I mean, we could.
And we can go on forever on that one. Because we were looking at who we had lost, and I know we wanted to close, you know, with talking about who we lost. But I think that's what's hitting people right now the hardest, is because this is for the first time our generation is losing people, and we've lost a lot of them.
Yeah, I think definitely. Yeah, I think that people resonate more because, you know, celebrity deaths involve, you know, your TV and your music and your movies. I understand that. Yeah. But along with, like, this year was crazy because, I mean, the presidential election was, I mean, first and foremost, you know, huge.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the first time that I ever was like balls to the wall politics.
You were. I'm just saying, your time hop, your Facebook memories, hey, listen, a lot of our Facebook memories next year are going to be a real shit show. It's going to take some people and put them back into where they were. In a bad way.
And I realize now that I'm like, I probably had a lot of people unfollow me.
Yeah.
I think I did. And I definitely noticed people unfriended me on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I did, because then they show up in your suggested friends, and you're like...
I'm surprised they don't have a filter on that.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Wait, they unfriended me? And I was like, nah, probably because of Bernie. I mean, you know, I was a Bernie Sanders supporter. I wasn't a Bernie bro. I know the difference.
I don't.
It's just something that I really started to be really passionate about, because I was... and I'm not going to get into too much, you know, because we're gonna, you know, even in our comedy, I don't go into politics or religion, but no, it was something that meant a lot to me at this point in my life.
Yeah,
and I really wanted to change, so that's about it.
You gotta change.
Well, I have always said that Donald Trump is the Republicans' Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
he is.
It was a change. It was a change, and however you fall on either side of that election, obviously it was a bad year for a lot of people when it comes to that, and it was a good year for a lot of people.
Hey, you know, all aside, you know, I'm not going to paint one half of the country a certain way.
No.
But you know, that was the person on their side that was an outsider that boasted change.
Mm-hmm. And
to get rid of the status quo.
Yeah.
Which, well,
we'll see.
We now see his cabinet is the biggest status quo of all time. So whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and I don't know if
seriously, what are you gonna do now?
I don't know if you looked at 2016 and said, okay, from a nationwide, what defined it? The election, like the different points of the year.
I think
like
so.
The election obviously defined the how the year closed out.
Yeah, I think. I
mean, we went through a lot of racial tension in this.
Well, that's what I was just
going to
ask you. I was going to say, what do you think the three biggest events were in 2016? I'd say for me was Donald Trump being elected, the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes,
and geez, what's three? I mean, those are the two that I paid attention to the most.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was right alongside with you with those two. I think that...
I mean, Run the Jewels' third album? Because it's dope. Holla at your boy. This episode is sponsored by Run the Jewels 3.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm trying to think of like I'm trying to think of the year in quarters. So when I think of the way the start of the year and how 2016 started off, and for the country, and for for me, I just, I think that there was so much that I'm just trying to put this to words. There was so much that created so many debates.
Yeah.
It seemed that everything was creating division.
Yeah.
There was so much
interesting.
labeling this year. It seemed like, when you just said like Bernie Bros, like there were so many different like little labels for every little person and who you were and what category did you fall into.
That's really interesting, dude.
Because I would
That's
sit back.
That's a great thing to talk about. It is.
Because,
everybody's in a category.
Yeah.
Everybody's, in a online group.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Everyone has to be in a hashtag.
What the fuck is a snowflake? And why is that bad now? Like, I don't know. Who are snowflakes? Am I a snowflake? I don't know.
Am I a snowflake?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I got to Google a lot of this shit. I don't know who to turn to.
We're dads.
We're dadding out now.
We try to know.
Yeah, we try. We're trying to be. Listen.
What words can we say?
We don't know. Like, oh my God.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Like, I'm like, a snowflake is a beautiful thing because they're all unique and they're all different. Now I'm being told, no, you don't want to be a snowflake.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't understand.
Who goes to bathroom where?
Oh, shit.
Like, I don't know. Do your thing. I love you.
Yes.
Like, I want
to love. I just want to love.
I love you. I don't care. Follow your heart. Like, I don't know. We don't know.
No.
Is what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah, the dads just, we don't know. I want to know.
Yeah, there was a lot of other stuff going on. Like, I'm looking at a list. I mean, Brexit is a little confusing, but I know that's a lot bigger over in England and in Europe. Zika.
Yeah.
Zika.
And how about,
Zika's
huge. Thinking of like things like Zika and things, how quickly our news cycle anymore is like in and out and done.
Gone. Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Like, do we have, we have Zika. And
North Korea was detonating hydrogen bombs, and that was gone in a day.
Yeah.
Like if North Korea detonated a hydrogen bomb in 1953, we would have every battleship in the planet into the Red Sea or oh my God, the China Sea.
Yeah,
whatever. Indian Ocean.
I don't have a map down here. I have a big painting of
the
Darth
Bering
Vader.
Strait. I don't know where.
I don't have a map down our globe. I've got a big painting of Darth Vader.
Globe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some big stuff happening.
I mean, it's huge. Like we said, the racial divide in our country and those types of things that I mean, made me really sit back and analyze myself, my children.
Sure.
What are that led to, and so as much of a shit show we think 2016 was.
Yeah.
It brought a lot of great dialogue in my home out.
Yeah.
And helped me realize, okay, have I put my children on the right path of understanding people and differences and how to live? And I can see an absolute difference between my daughter and my son.
Well,
5 years difference.
Right.
Raised in the same house.
Yeah.
Same values, everything. And there is some differences when it comes to how they see our society right now.
Right. Yeah. You mentioned before about labels and things like that. I think this year was the first year that I actually really looked at people that I knew differently. And what I mean is, like, I looked at them differently, almost like, okay, let me put this in perspective. Like, when I go into someone's house, I judge them on their movie tastes. Yeah, I know. You don't want me to go look at your movie collection. No, it's okay. I see American Pie over there. Whatever. You have kids, though. You have older kids. But what I mean is, I started.
Most of my shit's.
Is that a bad example?
Most of my shit's digitally downloaded. Okay, this is old.
Dude,
whatever.
All right. You know what I'm saying, though. I started looking at people more like judging them on different things, more about like, what do you think about this issue? You know what I mean?
You were talking
like almost like judging people like, you really like when you, I think you, this has been said a lot, and I'm trying to put it into words, but like, you know how people were saying like this election, especially, people have saying the Trump side, or, Republican side, or you're really starting to see who people are. And I do think because of the election and because of the racial tension and dialogue and Black Lives Matter movement in our country, you really start to see more people's true colors. And I'm this year I judged more people on kind of who they are deeply. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if
you started looking for little clues, or you talk to somebody forever.
Yeah.
Say you go to the same restaurant or bar all the time. You talk to the same bartender for years, because you do a show there or something.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter comes into the world, and they have things to say,
right?
And you're like, oh yeah,
I never seen that. I didn't think that.
Yeah,
of you.
I don't like you now. I don't like you at all.
Yeah.
I've noticed that more. I disliked a lot of people. And I tell you what, this year made me unfriend some people on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm all about dialogue. I do very much like hearing other people's opinions.
Yes.
But some people are just mean and just kind of gross. And I was like, I don't even want to be friends with them in life.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest thing for
Granted,
me.
they were fringe friends. They
Yeah,
were acquaintances.
that's the thing too.
You got a lot of acquaintances on Facebook.
It definitely made me look at social media from, that perspective of just going, okay, I'm fine with you have a different opinion than me. But when it just comes down to just what's right and what I feel is right when it comes to the human.
Wow, when you're just talking about human beings?
Yeah, just love.
You're
allowed
to have
I mean?
opinions about issues.
Yeah.
But
so
human beings and human rights, that's just...
No. So I think that it was a cleansing
liberty,
time. Yeah. It was a cleansing time in a lot of when it comes to a lot of that stuff. I mean, there's just some things I just felt were non-negotiable. And that meant that,
absolutely.
you know what? Listen, there's probably a good chance that I would bump into you at the store and probably wouldn't recognize you. Why the hell are you?
Right.
Why are you able to look into my world?
Yeah, that's a good thing to think. I think too, this is a year that definitely, Facebook has reached a point where, I'm beyond done with Facebook, but I have a career in entertainment. I like to stay connected with people.
Yeah.
I like to stay connected with other entertainers, other comedians. I like to stay connected with people, that want to come see me perform.
Yeah.
That's tough. So, and I told my wife, I was like, if it wasn't for, my career and wanting to stay connected with people, and it is, I do like staying connected with people that I went to college with who I went to high school with, people I grew up with. Of course, that's what Facebook is for. But now it's almost, I've heard a couple people say it's almost MySpace now. I mean, it's getting also the colored backgrounds and.
Well, MySpace actually predated me. I mean, as far as I didn't get into that shit. I didn't do any of that stuff. But I remember when my son was just like, no, I'm not doing that Facebook. We've moved on.
Said,
and he goes, we'll leave it to you to ruin it.
Yeah, we're on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Which I'm not on Snapchat. We've said that 100 times.
Yeah, no.
I'm a grown man.
No.
You're not going to see me have a puppy dog face. Or no, I can't, no. Or squeezing my mouth and, hey, I'm Harold. No,
That whole, as performers, okay, so.
I get it.
But do you, from the standpoint, I don't get, and I will tell you that you went and you tried doing Facebook Live. And I was watching you, and I was like, he's uncomfortable with this. Because I know you, and I'm watching you, and I'm like, he feels that this is a vehicle, that it could be beneficial, but it's, to him, he's in his head going, this is so fucking stupid. Yeah. And when I see people on Snapchat and doing the different things where it's just them talking, maybe it's no different than what we're doing right now, but...
No, I mean, some people do it and do it well.
Yeah.
My buddy Vinny Fastline's very funny on it.
Yeah.
He does funny stuff on there on the Snapchat filters and puts them on Instagram. And
I love how you said the Snapchat.
The Snapchat. Crystalia is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Crystalia has some funny Snapchats.
There's definitely people that can make it work, but I just think it's kind of
for me. I don't have time for this shit. I don't have time to go through filters on Snapchat, and it's like hurry up and shoot a quick video every couple hours. I mean, But
what we're talking about is social media, and we came in off of social issues. Now we're talking about social media,
Yeah.
which totally formed our social issues.
Oh, absolutely.
So we talk about live. You talk
absolutely.
about Facebook Live and being able to see what is happening that moment. I mean, is definitely changed the way.
So today, if you guys don't know, we're recording. What's today? Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, the 27th.
Yeah.
We are recording. My mom texted me 2 hours later that Carrie Fisher died.
Oh yeah.
2 hours after I found out. And my mom does that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'll text me and go, "Did you hear that?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Yeah, like this morning."
Yeah.
Like you see it immediately. Like I check Facebook probably every 30 to 45 minutes. So, yeah.
It's not even that. I mean, Twitter for me is my news source. I mean, I'm getting it, and that's, I was the old school, just like because my dad raised me this way. I had that paper every day, and I sat there and read that newspaper.
Yeah.
We watch the news. I don't watch any of that. I mean, we've talked about that many a times. Whether or not to completely take cable out of my life, and can I, those types of things. And you're sitting there like, well, what do I need it for? And they're like, my daughter said to me, my daughter kind of got old school. She's like, well, you need to watch the news, and I'm like.
No,
by the time that it is on that television,
news, I've heard all
I've
this.
already read that hours ago. Breaking news
With more details.
Yeah, with video, with people rate. So I mean, the ability to be informed and misinformed.
Yeah.
That's probably what the most scariest thing for me. And when you talked about judging people and looking at like what are they putting out there? People that were passing along stuff that you absolutely knew was bullshit, just coming from a bullshit
just that propaganda.
source.
Some of the left or right propaganda.
Yeah, on both ends, both sides.
Oh, that's what I said.
Listen, whatever
left and
side
right.
you're sitting on, it didn't
what
matter.
The hell are you talking about?
Yeah,
come on, you're smarter than this.
Yes, but then you found out, well, maybe you're not.
Maybe you're not.
And that's where those people sort of, okay.
Oh, I know. People that have doctorates.
Yeah.
I was like, what the?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You believe this?
Yeah. So it definitely filtered my social media obviously to my liking. And guess what? Yeah, because it's mine. And I don't want that bullshit in my life. I don't want that negativity. I want to be able to have those adult discussions, which this is our first adult podcast, it feels like, where we did start talking about porn names and we got to
politics.
And now we're talking, I mean, it's
But definitely,
real.
this was the year for Facebook. I mean, I think because of the election, because of social movements, I mean, this was, it really showed how I don't want to say how important, but how influential Facebook is.
It was huge. It was instantly, you were like, this war.
This year, this is it.
This political cycle was won because of social media.
Yeah.
To the point where you have your president-elect that is tweeting about Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. The president.
Upset about it. Like,
the president's annoyed by a sketch comedy show.
Yeah.
And he's tweeting about it.
Yeah. He's
taking time out of his schedule.
Yeah.
To complain about Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
That's
that's the part.
I don't want anybody, hey look. I don't want anybody, listen.
That's when you start going down that. That's what the trouble with if you try to be political with comedy with us and things. Nope, I don't want to alienate 50% of my crowd.
All I'm saying is I'm talking about how 20%. Social media has affected politics.
Yes.
That the president-elect is on Twitter, like complaining. Like that's like a 13-year-old millennial. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, it's the world we live in right now, and we got to live in it. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, let's just talk about. We already brought it up. I mean, the celebrity deaths this year have been a lot.
And like I said, I think because we are seeing a lot of. I mean, I didn't sit down and run a spreadsheet on the comparison of, how many people within a generation have been lost for this beginning year. I mean, these are big ass names. These are people that formulated our culture. I mean, really look at, when you talk about like one of the first blows you took was David Bowie.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I did not grow up in a household that loved David Bowie. I enjoyed David Bowie's work. I don't have, but
No, I
Then you're going to come with a left hook and then drop me to my knees and take out Prince.
know.
And I was devastated. Like
Yeah.
that was everyone everyone with Bowie, Prince crushed me. Because I was
I
a
love
Prince and Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, and that was my guys when
Yeah.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
And Prince was like everything to me. So, Lemmy from Motorhead, just talking from music. I mean, that is huge. Then you just this weekend, George Michael. I mean,
Dude, I like George Michael a lot.
Talent. Oh,
I like George Michael a lot.
Yes. Oh,
Like, I like him a lot. He's so good.
Yeah, and you just talk about formulating. I mean, Muhammad Ali. Jesus, shit.
I mean, yeah.
But those are the ones. Muhammad Ali's the one who's just like.
Well, I think there's two categories to think about. Is that you have old age.
Yes.
Okay, you have old age, but then you also have these celebrities that are in their 50s and early 60s.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at old age. I mean, Florence Henderson. She was old. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Muhammad Ali.
Ali
was older. I mean,
right.
But obviously health issues will just struggle.
Alan Rickman. I don't know. Did he have cancer?
God.
I don't remember. I feel bad. I have no idea.
Garry Shandling.
Oh yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like just.
I'm kind of pissed off right now because I can't get just a straight list.
No, you can't.
I had it, and I don't know what happened to it, and I'm really annoyed. Alan Thicke, John Glenn. You got older people passing away, which makes sense.
Arquette. Help me out. Transgendered sister from the Arquette family. From the Arquette family that was in The Wedding Singer. You're the movie guy. Help me out.
You're killing me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude, this is the worst. This is the worst podcast right now.
Oh, chalk it up.
But here's the thing. The other thing. Here's what I want to point out is that everybody's saying like, oh, 2016 is. Also, I think it really gives us a little look into. You look at people like Carrie Fisher and David Bowie and George Michael, and let me just throw this out there, okay? And Prince, okay? I'm not jumping to any conclusions, but I'm pretty sure in all four of those people's lives, they've had substance abuse or alcohol problems.
Yes.
So when you see people like that, that's dying in their 50s and 60 years old, it's like this is what happens. And I kind of think that too they've had ongoing problems. I mean, Prince, they said, was still taking stuff.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean,
Carrie Fisher still talks about doing coke.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still, some of these celebrities, they're in a life where, they wore their body down so much. And this is me speculation. This is me educating, guessing. This is, educated kind of opinions. But, it's like when you beat your body through an acting career or a music career, especially, I will say, musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, someone like Prince, David Bowie, George Michael, they're touring schedules.
I think, the lifestyle is.
Oh, my gosh. I mean
waking
I
up
tour and do stand-up, and I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Listen, I have to, I tore a muscle in my back. I had to take Vicodin to like get through pain for a couple weeks. Not on it anymore because I didn't want to get addicted to pills.
Right.
And then, and then it's like no matter what, if I have the flu one week, I'll drink DayQuil. I'll take DayQuil and drink a glass of whiskey and Red Bull. You know what I mean? Like just to get through a rough weekend where I have the flu or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking everybody, talking about every weekend.
Right.
So when I see just how my road schedule beats me down, some of these people, Prince, I mean, they're doing appearances all the time. When they do tours,
well, they're going to bed in one city and waking up the next day they're in a completely different. They don't even know where they're at.
And they would go on those tours and play 2, 3 shows, 4 shows a week.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. oh, you're on pills and you're on coke? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? That's tough.
Well, like with Prince's case, it's just like Michael's case, where
Yeah.
it was prescription, and
Yeah.
they get hooked in with these doctors, and they're like,
Yeah.
you know what? You make me feel good. They take
That's
care
right.
of them,
And
they're
I'm going to
gonna,
be honest with you. When you're a doctor, if you find the right doctor, everybody has a price.
yeah,
And if you are Prince, if you are Michael Jackson, and you are Prince's doctor, Michael Jackson's doctor, you're going to do whatever they want
yeah,
because Prince
Mm-hmm.
is your patient.
yeah,
So yeah, you're going to write him a script.
yeah,
Because he's going to throw you an extra 10 grand.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we
That's how
definitely
the
had
world
some. We
works.
definitely had some losses
It's a
of some people
shame.
that were hard chargers and that lived the lifestyle, and then you have the other side where it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, again, I just think I think what it's really doing to a lot of people right now is because these are people that formulated your childhood.
Sure.
We're the '80s generation. A lot of us, we
and
grew
you think
up
about
in,
that, it's like it shouldn't be that way.
but
yeah.
we were, we had cable and we had MTV and we had
Yeah.
these people in our lives that
I think
told
about
us how
that.
to dress and told us
Right.
what music to like.
And I think about that. Meanwhile, my whole career is talking about movies and doing entertainment.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, sure.
yeah,
Huge. Huge. I teared up today when I heard about Carrie Fisher.
sure,
I had to tell my 8-year-old daughter that Princess Leia died.
yeah,
And she
yeah.
got a quiver and like teared up a little bit. And that made me tear up.
Yeah, I mean, these are people. I mean,
To tell my daughter that Princess Leia went to heaven. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, that broke my heart.
yeah,
Well, she's 8. People are like, oh, you're telling you. Whatever. Okay. Believe in what you want. Okay. I'm talking to my 8-year-old daughter.
yeah. Worry about yourself.
I know. Thank you.
Don't worry about.
But you know what I mean.
Don't get me started.
I mean,
on that
it is an emotional thing.
shit. It is.
I mean, dude, I have lived and breathed Star Wars at least once a day since I was a child.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Princess Leia was the first female hero,
Yeah.
like, in my generation. Mm-hmm. You were like, whoa, like this strong woman, like, General Organa. You know what I mean? That was a big deal, And for some of us too, I mean, let's just talk about, the Leia bikini. That was like, oh my gosh, like, she's a beautiful warrior, like, that was like that strong woman who, and I know there's controversy around, her and her metal bikini and things like that. And,
Right.
But I mean, for us boys that saw a pretty girl who was like, by the way, choking out Jabba the Hutt, we were like, oh damn,
Yeah,
like,
this is
the
real.
most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Like, she's a warrior.
She's got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something to say about Carrie Fisher too, is that she was always kind of the embodiment of Leia. She really was.
Well,
her
to
whole
me,
life.
I mean, that's all. I mean,
She didn't take no shit.
No.
She spoke her mind.
She did.
And she did do some great things in her life.
Yeah.
She really did. She wrote some great things. She was a great, accomplished writer.
And she's been an incredible, champion for, mental illness.
Yeah.
And she's been very open. She was very open
Yeah.
with the struggles. And I think a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people commenting today on Facebook of just saying, hey, listen, Carrie Fisher, was somebody that I looked to that made me feel comfortable with my own mental illnesses.
Right.
And my comfort to know that I can overcome and those types of things. So
Right.
I again, idol worship, whatever you want to say and think. I mean, yeah, you know what? That's my generation. I feel we came up with this. I mean, like I said, dude, Prince crippled me.
It's always been that way. I mean, there was, our parents. Some of our parents had a poster of JFK.
Well, yeah.
I mean, people had posters of,
Elvis.
Yeah.
I mean, think of Elvis. I mean, my mother worshipped Elvis. I
Yeah.
mean, I had growing up,
people
I
sobbing.
had an Elvis lamp in my living room.
Yeah.
It was a bust of Elvis with a lamp coming out of his head.
There are people
And-
in that baby boomer generation of our parents that sobbed when, celebrities died. How about the whole earth sobbing when Princess Di died?
My wife.
Sobbing.
My wife lost it.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, and sometimes it is kind of weird.
But it
like,
means
you're like, you don't know
but
them.
you don't. But for me though, no one can tell me ever. Like you, that's one thing you can never tell me how to feel.
Yeah.
You're not like that's one thing you can't take from me. I've got an
Sure.
emotional attachment. I've got a love for this person, whether I've met them or not. It doesn't
Right.
matter. so it's very hard. I mean, we're talking about a year that we've done nothing but talk about some gloomy shit.
I know.
And I don't know, other thing to say than 2016 was a son of a bitch.
The son of a bitch of the year is the year 2016.
Is the year 2016.
And you're right. It is a lot of gloomy stuff. It is. It is. And I have little kids at home, and I know you have kids that are. Well, it's for you and I. It's different because you have kids that are going into this world right now.
Yeah.
And
they're in it.
That might be a little scary.
Well,
I have little
but I'm
kids
more scared for
where I'm afraid that they're going to be going into a worse world.
Yes.
10 to 15 years from now, as an adult.
And you just, you gotta hope.
Yeah, which is why you care so much about politics all of a sudden, as a parent, as a dad.
Yeah.
And you care so much about the world around you and how your kids treat people and how they behave. And
because last election cycle, Becca was 4.
Yeah. And I still very much cared about the last election cycle, just not as much as this one.
Because I think that it was so polarizing.
Because I saw who was coming up.
It was so polarizingly different. It was so different.
Yeah.
And that's why you felt that you needed to. We're going back into it, and I don't want to.
That's all. No, we're good.
Yeah. I just think that, for me in this next year, I mean, we've just got to be positive. I just got to try to be even more positive for people, not for myself.
Yeah, love people.
That's
really,
it, man. Just be better.
Be kind.
Be a better
person. Be kind
person.
and be funny.
Yeah.
Let's bring some more joy into the world. That's what I always say. Be kind and be funny.
Yeah.
And that's our goal for 2017.
Yeah.
That's going to be our first New Year's resolution is be kind and be funny. Yeah. And we're coming back next week. We're going to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Do you make New Year's resolutions?
No, I don't believe in that bullshit.
I don't believe in that bullshit either.
I believe in setting goals. I believe in having some stretch goals.
Let's talk about goals.
Next
week we'll talk about some goals.
That's what my thing on resolutions has always been. It's like I'm not about necessarily looking to take some shit out of my life. I'm looking about putting some good stuff into it.
There you go. I love it.
That's my dad talk. That's
trimming
me.
the fat.
That's me looking at you going, you want to lose a few pounds? Go lose a few pounds. That's fine.
Do you?
But let's put some more positivity into your world. Let's get some goals and let's achieve some shit in the first quarter.
Damn, Coach
Book
Clark.
it. Get it done. Let's do it. Buckle up your shoes and let's get down to business.
Thanks, Dad.
Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Epitaph.